What's happening? It's been a minute, but I'm here now. Let's get into it. So, just like the title says, I'm here to talk about what you should or should not do as a loved one during a sickle cell crisis. Number one, do not chastise them. Do not ridicule them. And do not try to figure out what triggered this crisis. Why? It doesn't matter anymore. I'm already in pain. What good is that information to you and to me at this present moment? No good at all. Okay? So you asking me that right now is null and void. It makes no sense. It's only going to aggravate me, and I don't need to be aggravated in this situation because I need to keep this pain down to a minimum and then possibly zero. Now, once I'm 100% better and I'm good, I'm back on my feet, then you could ask me, yo, what did you do last time to trigger the crisis so that we can prevent future crises? All right? Number two, try not to bombard them with too many questions. Okay? Now, if this is a loved one of yours, whether it's a daughter, son, niece, nephew, boyfriend, girlfriend, you should already know what to do in these circumstances. However, if this is your first time, try to keep the questions to a minimum. Don't ask unnecessary questions. Why? We already have to use every breath that we have in our body to try and regulate this pain. Okay? And depending on how bad the crisis is, and in most cases, they are all 8 to 10 in levels of pain. And we end up hyperventilating a lot of times. So for us to actually have to use the very little breath that we're using now to regulate this pain, we gotta now answer your questions unnecessarily. Yeah, let's keep the questions to a minimum for me. Now, if I am a person, or if your person is someone that likes to talk or have a conversation because it helps them with the pain, it helps take their mind off the pain, then by all means, bombard them with questions, make jokes of a whole full conversation, talk to them about the movie while the movie's still playing like they ain't in pain. But that's only if that's the type of person you're dealing with. If your loved one is like that, then you do that. If not, let's keep the questions down minimum. Number three, provide them with lots of room temperature water. The key words in that statement are room temperature. Reason why, and I'm speaking for myself because it varies for other people, cold water makes it worse. Okay? And this number three reason is going to correlate with the number four reason. Cold water makes it worse. So you would want to provide a lot of room temperature, get a gallon, 2 liters, as much water as you can possibly get, and make them drink it. Even if it means they're gonna throw up because they're drinking too much water, doesn't matter. Drink it. And once you provide this water, make sure you provide a bucket as well, because depending on how bad this crisis is, they may not be in a position to really walk to the bathroom. Okay, so make sure you have a mechanism in place uh, while they're in bed, the couch, or wherever it is that they're fighting this pain, so that they can pee. Okay, because that would be another issue on their hands and yours as well. Okay, number four, provide lots of warmth. All right, people have encountered they normally have a heating pad, battery operated heating pad or something that they plug into where it heats them up. Pretty much a crisis, it all comes down to blood flow. All right, I'm not going to go in depth in this video, maybe in another video, but pretty much what the warmth does or what heat does is it opens up the blood vessels and it allows a smoother blood flow and a quicker, regulated blood flow within the body without any traffic jams, any hiccups, or anything like that. Okay, so provide lots of warmth. Sometimes you may actually even see a person putting on 6 and 7 articles of clothing at once. They might be sweating profusely, They may be under a blanket. Leave them alone. They know what they're doing. Right? They're trying to warm them. If they ask to turn the fan on, then you turn the fan on. And even in some cases, if they ask to turn the fan on, they would probably want the fan turned away from them, because they don't want that cold air directly on them. And what also helps with heating is biofreeze or any other icy hot. You know, that also helps as well. But be careful, be mindful of those products because it can cause harmful side effects if you smear it all over your body at once. All right, and this brings me to number 5 is take them to the hospital, but use your discretion. And what I mean by that is this might be an emotional toll for them at the moment. They might have a shriek where they haven't been to the hospital in a year, maybe 6 months, and they don't want to break this shriek. This shriek helps them mentally, with beating sickle cell or fighting sickle cell, and so they may not want to go to the hospital this time around, and they may want to try and treat it at home. Now, if they go down that route, you are going to have to be stern and show a bit of tough love to them. Meaning, you're going to have to make sure that certain measures are in place and they do their part to make sure that the pain subsides and eventually is gone. And something like that would be, like I mentioned before, drinking lots of water. A gallon. Tell them to chug it down. And once they chug the first gallon down, get them next gallon. Tell them chug that down too. And have a bucket. Because they're either going to vomit or they're going to pee. All right? With that being said, these are the 5 things that you should or should not do as a loved one during a sickle cell crisis. I'll see you at the next one.